Beauty and the Beast, Michelle Morgan. Chapter 1. Long ago there lived a handsome prince. He was a fine fellow, and he knew it. He had a beautiful palace with 100 rooms and 25 servants. He had an enormous garden. Yet, even though he had so many treasures, he often felt cross and grumpy. On one of his grumpy days, an old woman hobbled into his palace, just dressed in rags and covered in dirt. "Please help a poor, homeless old woman," she begged. "You promised you would." The prince remembered that he had once made such a promise, but he decided not to keep it. "Get rid of this ugly old woman," he cried. The servants rushed towards her. "Stay back," warned the old woman. A beam of light flashed from her stick and the servants became invisible. The spades carried on digging and the bushes carried on sweeping all by themselves. "Let this be a lesson to you," she cried, waving her stick at the prince. The prince began to change. He became bigger and bigger. His feet popped out of his shoes. They didn't look like feet at all. They were huge and hairy like the paws of a beast. The prince looked down at his hands. He could see fur sprouting, and his fingernails had become long black claws. His teeth were now fangs. The prince ran to a mirror. To his horror, he saw he had become a beast. The old woman cackled. "Before the roses in your garden fade, you must find someone who loves you, even so you are now an ugly beast." With a wave of her wand, she vanished. Too late, the prince realized the woman was a witch. Too late, he realized he had behaved badly. He cried with pain and shame with sorrow. His cries were echoed around the countryside. They sounded like the howls of a wild animal. Chapter 2. Meanwhile, at the other end of the country, a merchant was setting off on a long journey. "What presents would you like me to bring for you?" he asked his daughters. The two oldest girls wanted many expensive things. They gave him a long list. Bella, the youngest daughter, was a kind, good-hearted girl. She loved books and music, animals and nature. "I just want you to come home safely," she said, "but if you could bring me a rose to plant in the garden." The merchant traveled far and worked hard until finally it was time to set off home. He packed all the presents he had bought, but decided to get a fresh rose for Bella when he was closer to home. On his journey home, a terrible storm blew up. Rain lashed, wind whooshed, thunder rumbled. It was then that the merchant saw a light twinkling in the room. "A place to shelter," thought the merchant. He rushed to the door. To his surprise, it was open, but the house seemed empty. It looked warm and welcoming and dry. In he went. "Is there anybody there?" he called, but there was not a creature to be seen or a sound to be heard. Tired of it, the merchant sat down by the fire. Invisible hands gave him warm drinks and good food. Invisible hands tucked a cushion behind his head. The merchant rubbed his eyes. "I must be dreaming," he thought. Chapter 3. The next morning, the merchant awoke and remembered he must get a rose for Bella. In the garden, he found a beautiful rose bush. He started to dig up a small part of it. It was then that he heard a terrible groan. It became a terrible roar and then a roar. How dare you take my roses? Suddenly, a great hairy beast appeared, roaring and snapping. Please don't hurt me, begged the merchant. I'll do anything. Then you must promise to send me the first creature you see when you get home. Aha, thought the merchant. I will see the chickens around my door first. So he gave his promise. To his dismay, the first creature the merchant saw was not a chicken, not a cat or a dog. It was Bella, who came running out to greet him. The merchant went pale as moonlight. He told her the whole story. Bella did not think twice. A promise is a promise, she said. So she went to the home of the beast. The furniture was fine, the chairs were comfortable, the dinners was delicious, but everything was very quiet. There was no one to chat or laugh with. The beast did not come to greet her, and the servants were invisible. It was always still and silent. Every day, Bella played the piano. She painted pictures and read books. She had everything she needed, but she was very lonely. One evening, Bella was sitting by the fire, reading aloud. She read a sad poem, and she thought she heard a sigh. She read a funny story, then she heard a chuckle. Who's there? Cried Bella. Step out of the shadows. Slowly, the beast crept into the light. Bella shuddered. Don't be scared. I know I look frightening, but I will not harm you, he said. Please carry on reading. Trembling with fear, Bella returned to her reading, and the beast sat and listened. After their first meeting, the beast often came to listen to Bella read and sing. Slowly, she began to be less afraid of him. At least he is someone to talk to, she thought. The beast told Bella stories of faraway lands. He made her laugh by telling jokes. Then he brought her beautiful flowers from his garden. Chapter 5. The weeks passed and Bella grew fond of the beast. She began to look forward to his visits and they became friends. She saw that he was often sad. He spent a lot of time in his garden, gazing at his flowers and sighing. Once she saw a tear slip down his face. Bella was sad too. I miss my family, she told the beast. The beast gave her a gift. This is a magic mirror, he told her. Say what you want to see and the mirror will show you. Bella gazed in the mirror. Mirror, mirror, show me clear. Please show me my family dear. Oh, yelled Bella. My father is ill. Let me go to him, she begged. The beast could not bear to see Bella so unhappy, so he let her go. As she left, he said, If you want to return home, use the magic mirror. Sadly, she watched her leave. Now he would be alone forever. Chapter 6. When the merchant saw his daughter returning, his spirits rose. From that day on, he grew stronger until he was perfectly well. Summer was fading now. The days grew chilly. Petals and leaves began to fall. I wonder what the beast's garden is like now, thought Bella. She looked in her magic mirror and said, Mirror, mirror, show me, please, the lovely roses and the trees. To her horror, Bella saw the poor beast was lying by the rose bushes. All around him, petals fell. The relics were fading and dying, and so was he. It was then that Bella realized how much she cared for him. Quick as a wink, Bella stepped into the mirror and ran to the beast's side. "Oh, beast, my beast," she cried. "Do not die. I will miss you. Please stay here with me." A tear ran down her face and fell onto the beast's dusty fur. The tear glistened on his fur, and the beast opened his eyes. Another tear ran down Bella's face as it fell. It sparkled in the light. Tear after tear fell. With each droplet, the beast revived, just as a wilting rose will revive when you water it. The beast sat up and rubbed his eyes. "You really care for me," he said. "Someone as beautiful as you can care for someone as ugly as I am." Then there was a flash. In place of the ugly beast stood a handsome prince. At first, Bella did not understand. "You monster!" she shouted at the prince. "What have you done with my lovely beast?" But then the prince told Bella the whole story. It was a long story of promises broken and promises kept, of beauty and ugliness, and of love and kindness. Bella understood. "We have learned a lesson," she said. "We must never judge anyone by how they look." And so, of course, they both lived happily ever after. The end.